I never thought I'd end up living in the very house a woman once tried to shove in my face as proof that she was better than all of us. But that's exactly where I'm sitting right now on her deck, sipping coffee, watching the sun rise over my land. Her dream house, now mine. And let me tell you how it all went down, because it wasn't just about property lines or plumbing. It was about pride and patience and knowing when to keep your mouth shut while someone else digs their own hole. See, this all started with my parents' land. Quiet, simple, peaceful. My folks, Eli and Marie, built a new house up the hill when they got older, and they gifted their old farmhouse to Sarah and Dean, who had worked for them for decades. They were more like family than employees. Years later, after they passed, their daughter Mel decided to sell the place. Too many memories, I guess. Then came Karen. She was all flashy SUV, big sunglasses, loud voice city money, trying to play country chic. Within days of buying the place, she tore down the farmhouse and started building a mansion pool guest house, some kind of Zen garden with imported rocks. Who knows? It looked like a tech CEO tried to cosplay as a rancher. You could tell right away she wasn't here for community. She was here for control. Trouble really kicked in when her contractor truck started parking all over my yard. I mean, I'd come home and find deep ruts where my grass used to be. So I walked up the hill, knocked on her door, and politely asked her folks to stop using my property as a construction zone. She just smiled and said, "It's not a big deal. You country folks should be grateful we're improving the area. Grateful lady, your patio furniture costs more than my truck." But I held my tongue. Instead, I built a fence. Nothing fancy, just a plain wooden one along the property line. Didn't say a word. 2 days later, I come home and see part of it yanked out. Karen stands there in her designer robe like some kind of queen and says, "Your fence was an eyesore. You should have asked me first." I didn't argue. I just nodded and walked away. That weekend I woke up early and soaked the patch of land where her trucks usually parked real deep hours of watering. Monday morning, the first contractor rolls in, and the front of his truck sinks halfway into the mud like quicksand. He tried to back it out, but it just got worse. They called every tow company in the county, and wouldn't you know it, I happened to own the only one nearby. Every truck was booked solid. Karen had to hire a tow from 2 towns over. Expensive lesson. You'd think that'd be the end of it. But Karen wasn't just rude. She was clueless. Our properties shared a well and a septic system, an old arrangement from back when this was just family land. I maintained it because I still lived here, and well, someone had to. Karen didn't ask. She just assumed. Then, one afternoon, I noticed water pressure drop, barely a trickle. I followed the lines and found her crew filling her pool with water from our shared well. Not a small backyard pool either. This thing looked Olympic-sized. I went up to talk to her, calm as ever. "Karen, you just drained the well. We're going to have to split the repair costs." She laughed. "Not my problem," she said. "You should have upgraded years ago." That was the moment I knew she was never going to change. So I stopped trying to be neighborly. I capped the well and the septic legally on my side. Sent her a polite email stating the systems weren't part of her deed and that any future access would be considered trespassing. Next thing I know, she's putting her house on the market, can't live in a mansion with no running water. Here's the twist. Every potential buyer, I made sure they knew the truth. Told the agent, told the inspectors. No working utilities. No rights to the systems. No fix unless you want to dig a new well and install a whole new system. The price dropped fast. Karen tried to sue me, but I had the paperwork permits and even emails from her ignoring the problem. The judge threw it out in 5 minutes. Eventually, Karen gave up and sold the property to a shell company just to cut her losses and leave. She thought she was being slick. Thing is, that company was mine. 3 weeks later, I moved in, turned the water back on, uncapped the septic, and slept in her oversized bedroom like a king. I rent out my old house, now it's peaceful again. No contractors, no drama. Just quiet nights, and the satisfaction of knowing I didn't have to yell, threaten, or fight dirty. She built her dream home, and I got to move in without laying a single brick. So yeah, maybe I played it slow. Maybe I didn't say much, but I knew the land, the rules, the systems, and that's all I needed. The best part. Watching her drive away that final day, not knowing she'd just handed me the keys to her empire. Sometimes the loudest revenge is done in silence, one septic cap, and one signature at a time. Now, here's the part I want to hear from y'all. Was I too cold? Or was this just well-earned justice? Have you ever had a neighbor like Karen? Someone who thought money gave them the right to walk all over you. Let's hear your stories. Drop a comment below, like and subscribe. If you love a good small-town comeback story. And hey, next time someone thinks they can own the land, you just show them who really does.